Okay, hi guys. So I would want you to watch this video till the end because I'm saying everything from my mind, and a lot of times what happens is watch half of the shit, and I miss some of the crucial points because I say them in the end because I don't follow a script. I just have it all on my mind, right? So it's all random. But anyways, I wanted to talk about this thing that most people are always gonna be poor, okay, and most people, or you should say like this: the rich are always gonna stay rich. And it's because the rest of the people are actually dumb. It's a small thing to say, it might also feel like I'm saying something which is outrageous, but dumb doesn't mean that they can never be smart. It's just that they were dealt in such a way, or the hands they were dealt in throughout their life were mostly unlucky. I should say they the reason why they're dumb today, it's just because they were never born in a rich family. They did not understand what's happening around the world. They were always in that one box. Okay, so it was not probably their choice to be not smart or dumb. It's just that it's sad that, let's say for example, a person is born in a third tier city in a poor family, so not in a very rich family, then goes to a school which is not well funded, right? Eats bad food technically, because like food which does not have a lot of nutrition, probably a lot of carbs. Then meets a lot of friends who are also not good at studies, who do not want to study and do not have a bright future, right? They're not looking towards their future, as they don't want to do something crazy. Okay, they're all okay with, they don't even know what's happening around the world. They don't even know what it's like to grow in life. And I'm okay if they don't want to do it. It's their life. But what I'm trying to say is, puts them at a disadvantage compared to the world, right? Because they've only seen the world in a small lens, and now they meet these people. Those people are not probably doing that well in their life as well. Then they, from the school, they go to college. Again, they meet same people, or they either just don't go to college. They probably don't even complete their schooling, and they probably have to do some sort of small labor work to support their family, right? So they're dealt in these hands that puts them at such a disadvantage. They're never able to grow. Okay, so it's mostly like, and if you talk to these people, I mean, for basic things they would be smart enough, but they would not have an understanding of what's going around the world, the rest of the world. So because they don't have that understanding, right, that is the reason why they are not smart about those topics, right? You cannot ask them, they might not know about finance. Okay, and the disadvantage also starts when, let's say for example, they watch Instagram and watch YouTube. Because everybody, let's say they get a phone, they watch Instagram, they watch YouTube, so they make enough money to get a phone. And they watch Instagram, they watch YouTube, and what do they see around them? They get into the content that is the worst for them. So probably, let's say for example, for some YouTubers or some Instagram influencers who are let's say, I am enough guilty of this, but flashing out their wealth and trying to be rich and cool around them, and trying to give other people a false hope that they would also be rich. And with that false hope, like they basically, their content consumption is trash because they don't know what is good content and what is bad content. It's just like the sad reality for them. Because everything that they watch doesn't incentivize them. They don't, you know internet is huge, but most of it is content that doesn't add up anything to your life. If all you do is open Instagram and then तुम बस पूरे दिन लड़कियां नाचते हुए देख लो, not gonna add anything to your life. After 5 seconds, you're gonna probably forget that reel. You're gonna probably forget that girl, right? Doesn't add anything to your life, correct? Um, but there is also good content on the internet. But because you do not have that knowledge, and because your algorithm is now set to only show you that kind of content, you'll probably never be able to um, change your route. Think about it from a personal. I have been there, done that, right? So what happens is whenever I watch more than 10-20 minutes of trash, or whenever I am on Twitter and ranting about certain thing over 20-30 minutes, my brain has this thing where it says, what the fuck are you doing with your life? Get off this shit. And then I would probably go on YouTube or Instagram and then probably watch better content, better something, right? Probably do something with my life. Probably go on a walk, probably just do something else. And that's my brain's way to say it, because I've made it a habit, right? I do not watch bad shit content for a very long time. I get out away after it, I get away from it after some time. So the reason why I was able to do it is because I knew what the difference between bad content and good content is. The thing is, I knew between what decisions to make and what not to make. Most people just do not have the luxury to know this. They do not have the information. They don't have that because they've never been in that place. Think about it like this, from a standpoint of someone who's fat. I'm fat, right? I have never been in the best shape of my body. I don't know what my body can be like. I've never been jacked, so I don't know what it feels like to be jacked. So for me to fathom that as a reality, even though I dream about it, to me actually fathom that as a reality is almost impossible for me. Right? It's like, because I've never been there, I cannot think about how my life is gonna change when I am there. I mean, I can dream about it. I can feel like, oh, women are gonna be more attractive. I'm gonna be more confident, and all, but I've never been that confident, so I don't know what that confidence feels like. So that internal motivation is on the much lower side. So my motivation actually only comes from insecurities. Doesn't come from the good part. Think about it like this: if someone has not been financially free in their life, they do not know what it feels like to be financially free. And you don't have to go to a job, and you don't have to be somewhere, when you don't have to answer someone, when you can just live your life without anybody's interference. Not pretty much anybody. Like, the government doesn't interfere much, to be very. When you can live that life, when everybody around you is running a rat race and you don't have to, it's a very different world, right? It's a very different life. And most of us, okay, most of us don't know what it feels like to be that. So most of us cannot fathom that, and most of us cannot try to see that. I personally got a chance to see it. I never want to go back now. I don't want to lose what I have. Okay, I don't want to be down there. I don't want to go to a job, go do all of that stuff. Now I'm okay spending less money in my current life and living this life, rather than trying to be in that rat race and then owning five more Lamborghinis. I don't want to do that. No, no, not happening. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. I know what it feels like to jump from a Verna to a Mercedes. It's worth it as a car. Like, it's a good addition to your life. But if I have to slog for it for 10 years, it's not worth it then. If you get lucky and you make a shit ton of money, then it's worth it. But you to know that difference, you to have that knowledge, you have to do it, right? It's like most middle class people, not middle class, I'd probably say, like, they're probably in the top 5 to 10% in India. Most of those people, okay, those people have this inspiration of these iPhones. They want to have an iPhone. I used to have that kind of thing. Now I hardly give a shit. Now for me, it's like, I haven't had a 16 Pro. I have not, trust me when I say this, I don't use anything over Instagram and YouTube. Probably some Twitter. That's it. There is no actual use of that phone for me. Personally, it doesn't change my life at all, whether I'm using a 15,000 rupee phone or whether I'm using this. It's just that because the price of this is so insignificant that it doesn't matter, I can afford to have it. But think about it, someone has a salary of 20,000 to 1 lakh. For a lot of those folks, they want to have it. And I get their point. The thing for them would be that because they have never achieved it, because they've never had it, they constantly feel the desire to have one, but they don't know that it doesn't change their life at all. And they have this thing that, okay, fine, if I reach this goal, I'm gonna probably feel good, feel better, and probably it's gonna change my life in certain direction. Probably it's gonna feel good, and then they finally get it, and then after 5 days, they feel this thing in their head where they feel like, oh, my life did not change. Like the happiness for was for the first 2 3 days. What the fuck? What the fuck? It did not last longer than 3 4 days. Oh my god! And that's just the sad part, right? For most people, they do not know what good decisions, tagged good decisions, feel like. Okay, so they're already dealt with the worst case scenario, right? They're born in a poor family. Then on top of that, they don't know what their good decisions would be, would change, right? And the rich people are not really interested in sharing their stack of the wealth. Like they would happily employ people at the lowest wages possible. They would happily exploit the shit out of them, right? Because why won't you? I mean, you are fucking rich. So these people are at such a big disadvantage where there is almost no way to grow because look, you don't know what it feels like to actually grow. You don't know what to do to grow, and nobody's gonna come help you. Okay, and surprisingly, something else. There is no actual matrix. Okay, I'll make a different video about this, but um, yeah, I think I'll cut it short over here. I think this much of discussion on this topic is probably enough. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Then bye bye.